Boom, 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 man. How y'all doing today, man? How you doing, Miss Brazil? What brought the Brazil? What brought the Brazil thing on? What's going on with the Brazil? Or is
All
he just
right,
rocking a
so
jersey? Oh, well, then you hush. Go
well,
ahead, tell me.
whoever I don't know if y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel, but I did a whole Sheen trial haul.
You
So that's
know,
where the
you know,
shirt
I'm
is
subscribed.
from.
Not him. I don't know if
I'm
he's
subscribed.
subscribed,
I'm
but you
subscribed.
know
I've been
I'm
subscribed.
subscribed.
I've been
I've
subscribed.
been watching from the rip.
I've been subscribed.
Yeah, so that's what inspired this shirt. I just wanted to step out my comfort zone a little bit with colors. So I
Gotcha.
did a little Sheen trial haul. So go check out
Sheen
that
is
video.
Sheen a company? I've heard of it, but
Sheen,
like, what is Sheen? What?
it's like an online shopping, like
Gotcha,
an
gotcha,
online
gotcha, gotcha,
clothing.
gotcha.
Yeah, a
Okay.
lot of people have been talking about it.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Maybe they up their brand, their quality. So it's pretty good. I like it.
Okay. Okay.
What y'all been up to?
Hey, listen, it's your world, dog.
Hey,
It's
man.
your world. Go ahead, and let the people know.
I ain't did too much, man. Just catching these playoff games.
Yeah.
You know, I'm missing the part of one right now. I'm gonna tune in when we get off. You know, I ain't done too much, man. Taking it easy.
You got a prediction on who you think in the Super Bowl?
Lamar,
You
Lamar
think
gonna get a ring.
Lamar getting the ring? Who you gonna get it over?
I mean, ain't no telling the NFC and be real with you. I think. Oh, I say Detroit just because they the one seed, but hey, I think all them teams is kind of fluke. I think Detroit got the best shot.
Yeah.
I feel like Green Bay could make a run. Um, Philly, Philly can handle business if they peak.
Well,
You know, I just feel like whoever come from over there gonna lose. So
I got you. Okay. Yeah, you know my boys lost last night, man. Lost to your boy Lamar, man. Tough,
yeah.
tough. But the way we've been playing the last month has been piss poor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just awful. So I don't even want to get into that. Like, honestly, I ain't talking no sports. Anyways, I've been doing good though, man. Just came from church, and yeah. And I feel like we got a lot to talk to, so we're gonna go ahead and intro this thing, man. Let's get into this, man. It is Outside the Post, man. What episode is this? Number 5? Number 5? If you made it here from episode 1, man, leave a like, comment. Let me know if you've been here from the rip. Let us know. Have you been here from the rip, or you one of these new people that just found out because Josh was on Instagram in the you feel me? In the algorithm. But anyways, man, yeah, man, it's episode 5, man, Outside the Post, man. It's your boy, Kev, and it's a great day. It's a great day. It's a new day. And I am here next to a very well-dressed, well-kept up brother right here. I don't know what he's on because y'all didn't see it. But he was feeling something. Since I talked to him today, he been, you feel me? I felt like there's something brewing. Because he keeps mentioning this week, and we ain't really talked this week, so I feel like something's been brewing. But anyway, it's my man. Y'all know him as Mr.Smith. Y'all know him as Jai. Y'all know him as Scums. Y'all might know him as something else. I don't even. They might know him. You feel me? 2K legend. You know he played. He was on the 2K for a long time. He been on the Madden. He in the bank. The man everywhere, man. He in the pot. Introduce yourself, man. Introduce yourself, man.
Man, hello everybody, man. Happy Sunday to everybody. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yeah.
I know it's y'all boy, Mr.Smith. I got all love for y'all.
For everybody or them?
Hey, for all the viewers listening, you feel
Okay.
me? You know?
You see how you clarify for the viewers. Okay.
Just want to say what's up. Hope y'all having a wonderful Sunday afternoon. The morning was great. You know, I do got something to say, but I'm gonna wait. You know,
Listen,
I'm gonna wait
Britney,
my
you
turn.
might want to, when he get to swinging, just let it. What was that movie? It was Fast and Furious. When Tyrese and dang, what's buddy name that died? Paul Walker. When they was about to fight, and he told the dude, "Hey, whatever happened, let it happen, Britney. Whatever happened." Just let it go, man. Don't worry, we good over here, man. But anyways, man, and the other co-host, the beautiful. Today I've been calling her Brazil because she came in there. I ain't never seen this before. This is new to me. It might be new to y'all. It might not. You gotta go check out the YouTube channel. She told me she just got. You feel me? After this video, go subscribe. You feel me? And all the stuff gonna be in the description as usual. Blase, boom, 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 boom. But it's the beautiful Miss Britney Williams.
Hi, my name is Britney Williams. Thank you so much for tuning in to Outside the Pulse. We really appreciate you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be an awesome, awesome day. It's going to be an awesome video, so stay tuned. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. All right, man. Listen. I don't know. Where y'all want to start?
You say you went to church today. What was the message today?
You want to hear the message from church today?
Yeah. What was the message? What did they talk about?
Now, typically, I would say a smart answer here, but we talking to the people, and maybe the people want to hear some of the words. But he hit from Genesis, and then he went to Luke, but what he was talking about. Long story short, was even if something has been dead in your life, whether it was a dream, you had a dream when you was younger, or a dream that you used to have, or something, anything, like your finances down. If you believe in the Lord and do the things that He tells you to do, and speak life into those things, speak life back into that dream, speak life back into, you will see. You feel me? On the other side, it is what it is. That's the short version of it, without getting too deep into it. But yeah, man, just speaking life back into the things that may have died, or the things that you kind of let stay dormant before. And in 2025, he said, and it's live in 2025. We speaking life into things in 2025. So yeah, that was where he really went today, man. Just speaking life into things.
What a wonderful message, you know. I feel like that's very fitting for what we got going on here, you know.
Sure.
Especially that speaking. We talking about speaking.
He said speak. You got to say it with through. He said, and this is something that he did. It was either last week or week before, but he was talking about a drone that he bought for him and his son. A drone. You bought two of them. And he couldn't figure out how to work it until he opened up the manual, and then he referred to the manual as the Bible. And when you open up the manual, he figured out, oh, there's the button right there. Boom, boom. This is how you get it to come up off the ground. This is how you get it to go forward, back. Boom, 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 boom. So he was like, hey, you can't get to this point until you feel me, you get saved, whatever, blase. You can't move forward until you start speaking the Lord. You feel me? And like you said, speaking, you gotta speak it. It gotta come out your mouth. You ain't gotta shout it everywhere, boom, boom, but you gotta speak. You gotta say what needs to be said.
Say that again. Say what needs to be said.
Bingo.
Say what needs to be said. Boy,
Yeah.
there you go, right there. There you go.
Yeah.
Say it, man. I'm telling you, man.
Are you saying? Hold on. Are you saying that some people, maybe on this podcast right here, is not saying what needs to be said? I feel like
absolutely not.
I feel. Me personally feel like you might not be saying what you need to be saying. Say it. Get it off your chest. Say what you feeling, man.
I feel that communication, like that was a special message. You know, they saw you in the audience, Keeve, and that wasn't no mistake. That was the message today. Like, they want you to speak things to existence.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we came up here last week, you know, with our resolutions. We told the people what we was gonna do this year.
Yeah.
You know, me and Britney trying to hold our end to the bargain.
But
like,
I ain't speaking.
You ain't not speaking, not at all.
I'm
not,
lost out
not
there.
Not saying what needs to be said. Not.
Ah.
Just, hey, the people here for you for the first time. This is the first time I done heard from you too. I heard, you know, we figuring this out together.
Oh, we all in it together, huh?
It's one big group chat.
Okay. I understand where you coming, sir. I understand, and you right. I should have had a little bit better communication, even though, you know, because things is gonna come up and things gonna happen. But as long as you communicate, letting everybody know what's going on, you know, it make it a little bit more smoother. Is that what you saying, my brother?
That's it. Just a little bit of communication, a little speaking. Just a little speaking.
Okay.
I'm not asking for the world here.
Yeah. I understand, man, and that's fair. And what I would say to close this out, because what you speaking on, we don't need to be talking about that on this. Like, it ain't part of the show. But we will we'll talk about it later. Anyways, I'm going to do better. Me, Keevin, will be trying to communicate better from here on out. I've literally and maybe some other people need to do this, man. I'm literally doing like a real life audit, man. Like, I'm really doing a real life audit, writing things down and saying, this is where I'm at, this is where I want to be, and this is how I got to get there. And that's what I'm doing right now. And I was telling him right before, Britney heard some of it, but I was telling him right before, communication. It was on my list, and like, of things. This is where I'm at with my communication level in place. This is where I want to be at with how I communicate with, whether it's people I know or I don't know in my life and stuff. And this is how I got to get there. And I think, and I genuinely thank you, man, calling me out, because we got to do that. We got to do that more. We got to call each other out on our stuff, especially when it's BS, man. That's BS that I ain't communicated to you all week, man. You should have been hearing from me. There's no reason you shouldn't have been hearing from me. No reason. I could have texted, called it, FaceTimed it. Some emailed you. I could have did it in many ways, and you know. But anyways, we gonna get off of that, man. Yeah, communication, guys, man. Communication. But yeah, I don't know who needs to hear that. We ain't gonna do too much preaching to you, but yeah, communication is very key. You gotta speak it. You gotta say what's on your mind. You gotta say what's going on, and because can't nobody read no minds. What's the saying about when people stand in front of somebody? Hey, your daddy wasn't no glass maker or something. Hey, can't nobody see through you? Can't nobody read your mind? You know. You gotta say it.
Especially not me.
Yeah. And the reality is, most people ain't trying to read your mind. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them.
You gotta tell me.
Yeah. Tell me what's going on. All right. Anything else you wanna? Anything else you need to hit, man, or Brittany? Anything that's dire, like that y'all just we gotta get to this. Or y'all want to just keep it rolling?
We needed to get to that. We needed to get to that.
Yeah. We yes, we needed to get to that. You're right. We needed to get to that. I'm saying, is there anything else, sir? Anything else that we need to get to? Right this second. Cause I got a few topics that, you know, if y'all wanna.
You got any announcements?
Announcements? I don't think we really do announcements.
Nobody got no birthdays, nothing.
Birthdays?
I can't think.
For those of y'all listening to this podcast who is attending Dry January, I am about to put out a video sometime this week talking about Dry January and tips on how to stay sober if you're trying to go down that path. So stay tuned. That's the only announcement that I have. If you are tuned into my YouTube channel, so look forward to
And
that.
we will have her YouTube channel in the description. So you just
Yeah,
after this video,
I'm gonna be wearing the
down.
same shirt. So look forward to that video.
Dry January. Some of y'all need to go on Dry January. Now that's
Yes.
we listen. We ain't gonna get into that one today, but there's some of y'all.
For sure.
Y'all need to go into Dry 25.
Just for fun.
Life.
Just for fun.
Dry. Stay away. Like y'all just need to go dry. Period. Cause some of y'all, boy, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. It don't. And it goes back to communication. Somebody need to communicate with some of y'all that y'all need to go on Dry January and Dry February and March. Somebody needs to communicate. But Britney got y'all on that, man. Anything for you, Scarlett? You got any announcements?
You know, we can shout out the Deltas. Their Founders Day coming up. You know, wish them happy Founders Day. Wonderful. I know a few. of them. We got some in the fam. So I wish them Deltas a happy Founders Day.
Happy Founders Day to them, man.
Happy Founders Day. It's on the 14th, isn't it?
14th, 13th, one of them days.
Something like that. Yeah.
We got some birthdays too that's coming up. I ain't gonna put their names out there because some of them is children. So we trying to put all the children names out there and stuff. But anyways, there's some birthdays in the family and birthdays that I know of, and January. What else we got? TikTok. People been talking about buying TikTok because you know they trying to ban it, and the Supreme Court just said, well, I don't know exactly when they said it, but they said because TikTok was trying to say that's against our rights or whatever to ban it, and then the Supreme Court said that our national security overrules y'all claim to the amendment or just our constitution or whatever. Our national security overrides that because they say TikTok be giving all the information over to the Chinese government. So they overruled that, and then TikTok has a potential to be banned coming up soon. I think it's soon. And
the 19th.
Yeah, and what's his name? The dude that be on Shark Tank. Not Mark Cuban. Not Mark Cuban. The Kevin O'Leary. That's his name.
Yeah.
So him and another guy. He said he had another guy they're working on a plan to buy it. And they're working with Joe Biden right now, but obviously Trump is going to be in the White House soon, so he got to work with, and he put it out. He was doing like some interview or something, but he was like, "Yeah, we're working on buying it, and we got to work with the government, so it doesn't get banned or something before they because it's a multi-billion-dollar deal, so it takes a while to get those to go through." But yeah, man, they talking about buying it, and then somebody mentioned like Elon Musk. Which the thing with Elon Musk is he already has, or Twitter or X or whatever you call it, and you don't really need one person owning all of, like, you don't want monopolies, man. You don't want monopolies. So you want other people to get it, and I don't even know if Elon Musk wants to buy, because he's never said he wanted to buy TikTok, but even if he's in a running because his adjacency to Trump and all of that, you don't really want that to happen. Even though I think he's probably I don't know if necessarily the best entrepreneur we got right now, or I would say like CEO that we got right now, like, or most active, because that motherfucker he got like 10 companies, it feel like. SpaceX, the Tesla, the solar roof thing that he's doing on Twitter or X. Like the man, he just said in some interview that he be working like 110 hours a week. Yeah, like
Wow.
crazy. But yeah, what's your thoughts on like one TikTok getting banned and two like American person buying it? Like, cause I feel like there's even after somebody buys it, there's going to have to be a lot that goes into like rewiring because like all things it's on some server. All right, so are you going to replace the entire server and put it in somewhere else? Are you going to then rework all of the backing of the software so it's not some like loophole that China can still get into? Like, how much are the person that buys it going to put the time in and resources after they done spent billions of dollars to change it completely, or is it like what are you gonna do? So what's your thoughts, man?
I'm gonna let you go, Britney.
And do y'all use TikTok? I don't use TikTok, so I don't know. But,
I don't use TikTok either. Not on
Well,
TikTok.
excuse me.
I know
I do
Brittany's
use
a
TikTok.
social media person, so she be known.
Yeah, I also want to be a full-time content creator, so
Yeah.
TikTok, I use it, but I feel like if you don't have a goal, like a literal goal to become successful with TikTok, it's just a literal, just a everyday social media platform. It's not gonna really matter to you. But if you're trying to get an income off of it, it's kind of like, ooh, why are we getting rid of this? They gotta find a different loophole, basically. But
Did the
I
people
feel like
on TikTok
they're
that's
gonna
like
TikTok.
big? Not because you. Did the people on
I
TikTok
thought
that's
I thought
big?
the same years ago.
Did they like feel like were they like nervous? Like, cause you remember like Vine. When people found out Vine was going, like the people that was big on Vine, like then what you gonna do? Like,
True.
was that like kind of the feel on like TikTok when it first started getting talked about being banned?
True. That's actually a really good example because if we're gonna use that example with Vine, your audience is going to follow you wherever you go. If you build a real intimate following, like for y'all tuning into Outside the Pulse, if something were to ever happen, you're going to feel like you're in tune with us. So you're going to follow us with our journey. Because that's how I am with a lot of creators, even with Vine. Like you don't forget those people that you've connected with online. So I feel like if we do get rid of TikTok and they come up with a different platform, your audience is going to follow you. That's how I honestly feel. If you have real people that are there watching you, real supporters, they're going to follow you on whatever platform you go to.
But that's your job as the creator to connect with them that way.
That's true.
Because there are lots of examples of creators that they got banned over here, and then or like something happened to that account over there, and then getting them to come back ain't as much. So it's like you got to build that community and stuff like that. You know, communication.
There it is.
Communication.
There it is.
But yeah, so do you think somebody? Well, I'll let Scott go. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on Twitter a lot. I'm on or X, so like I see there's a lot of commentary around it. It is a hot topic up there, but kind of like what you hit on, Brittany. It is. I feel like it just affects people differently. Some people just go up there for entertainment purposes, like they just watch funny videos and stuff. Them videos end up on Twitter anyway, so it is not too much of an impact, and that's really one of the big reasons I really never got on TikTok is because really most of the stuff, the trends and stuff, it translated over to X anyway. So you see it there, it's gonna come over there on X. So that's one thing, and then what you hit on, Keeve. I feel like it defeats the purpose of them to buy the company, and there still be a situation where China has access or a loophole to still get the data information that they was receiving. Um, I feel like that's the issue. So I feel like if they buy this, they gonna have to redesign it. Start like the server, especially. Whether that's create
That's
a
where
new one.
everything at the server.
Yeah,
So
they'll probably have to create a new one or completely modify it so that you know that access. China doesn't have that access. Otherwise, it just defeats the purpose of them making the deal.
Yeah, I don't know. Like me, like I don't use it, and but I just feel like one, if it does get banned, there's creative people. Like people are gonna come up with another thing, just like when Vine disappeared, when Snapchat was dying down. Like it's kind of revamped now, but when Snapchat was dying down, new stuff popped up. When this was dying down, new stuff popped up. And anytime there's a gap in the market, somebody's gonna fill that gap. Like so, that's gonna happen. But as far as like if they sell it, like just don't sell it to somebody that already has social media. Like so, don't sell it to Mark Zuckerberg. Don't sell it to the people that's already owning and stuff. You know, sell it to somebody new, but also have a contingency in place. Like, hey, we need y'all to work on the back end of this stuff because the whole reason of we taking it from them is so we can not give our data to them. So, but yeah, man, that's it, man. Old ticky tock. But I think on the creative side too, like, yeah, all the content. I think the whole thing with social media, all the content is on pretty much all the platforms. Like most of the stuff you look at, like you will see some version of it, if not that version of it, on all the other platforms. The only difference is how the creators like grow on said platforms. Like the way people grow on TikTok is different than the way people grow on Instagram, the way people grow on Facebook, the way people grow on X, the way people grow on YouTube. Like that's the only difference. Like for a person that just watches it, you just watching it. It's like just like you watch sports. Sports could be on ESPN, it could be on Peacock, it could be on a streaming service, it could be whatever. All I'm doing is watching it. Just tell me where I gotta go and see it, and as long as it don't hinder, like make me go out of my way, then cool. But yeah.
I do feel like it'll have a big impact on the music industry. You know, because TikTok, them sounds, that's where people, you know, these artists get them streams going up, these trends and stuff like that.
But I don't think that affects the artists as much. Now, yes, artists, they get the numbers or the perceived numbers, but that doesn't translate to them selling units necessarily, and that doesn't translate to them when they go on tour. Like people that's hearing your song on TikTok ain't necessarily gonna go watch you on tour. Like you just some catchy song that they heard. So I don't think that affects the artists. I think that more affects the labels because the labels make the money off of the artists, and we hear it all the time of music business. Well, I feel like it's all businesses of how a lot of artists and stuff is getting screwed over because of their deals, which I don't even know if it's necessarily screwed over, because a lot of these artists, you had the ability, especially nowadays, they'll blow up off a song and then go run and sign a deal. How about you do some work yourself? Go do a couple shows, make you a couple money, get some people around you to help build something, and then go get a deal instead of just running and trying to, they told me they're gonna give me $1 million. Okay, well, that comes with things. When you sign these contracts, that come with things. Like, you don't just get to sign a contract for X amount of dollars, especially when you're talking about big money, and think that's not going to come with something. And, yeah. But, yeah.
They just getting an advance. That's all it is. When they sign that, they just get the money get advanced out. They got to complete all these obligations to make that money back. And if they make more than, you know, what they advance, then, you know, they pocket that. But
sometimes,
but when you talking about they advance you 3-4 million, you don't even got a strong foundation, like a following.
No.
Like, you just had a song that blew up on social media.
Bingo.
Now you gotta work on it and put another hit out. Like, the label, they give you, you know, the platform where you can release your music and stuff. But if it ain't good, it ain't good, you know. If it ain't gonna generate, hey, the label's still gonna want that money back.
Yeah. Yeah, man. People gotta understand business side of things a lot more. Like when you're getting into business, like when you start talking about like serious money, like you ain't talking about, all right, you feel me? You went to the farmer's market and you made a couple dollars on the weekend. You made $500,000 at your little pop up shop. No, you talking about you done opened up a damn store and the rent is $15,000 every single month, and people got to come in there, and that's before you hired anybody, put product on the shelves. People, you got to get people in the door. Like there's a difference. Like there's a vast difference. So when you in the music game, all right, boom, you got your little song hot or whatever, and you can make maybe some money off of YouTube and make a couple money here. But you talking about we putting real money in your pockets, traveling you around, putting you in front of these people. We gon' need that advance back and some. Because I just gave you $3 million. I don't even know if you gonna work out. You might not make another hit. That might have been your one hit. Now I gotta figure out, hey, how do I get this money back and some? Because imagine you sitting. You got millions of dollars in your pocket. You just gave it to somebody else, expecting them to come back with more. You don't know if it's going to work out. All you know is I got the resources to put them in position. What can you do? You going to want a lot of money that back. You ain't going to just want your $1 million back. Your $500,000 back. You going, nah, that $500,000 got turned into $2 million, or I shouldn't even did it.
Yeah.
Like I could have put that $500,000 in a lot more places than on you.
Yep.
Man. Oh yeah, in the wildfires. This is one of them conversations that like we could really make a video, like a sit down, like somebody could really make a real, I'm sure people have made a video on the inadequacies of what's going on in California. How the hell are you, excuse my language, but how the hell are you literally on a humongous coast? All of California touches water. And y'all got wildfires? We ain't talking about in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
Like, something not adding up.
We got wildfires.
Something not adding up.
And this ain't on top of the insurance companies have already been pulling out of California.
Yeah.
All of them. This has been on for years. They've been talking about these issues. Hey, we don't want to insure these homes because y'all ain't doing what y'all supposed to be doing. But they prance. They send, what's his name? Gavin Newsom. He the governor. He pranced around and he was on the campaign trail. And stuff. It's like, bro, what are you doing in California? Every time I hear something about California, it's negative.
Yeah.
Every time.
I kid you not.
Every time.
They say.
Let me stop talking about it because I'm going there in March. Well, supposed
it's
to go
crazy.
there in March.
And the thing is, it's a beautiful place. That's the reason. That's the reason. Before he took that job, there had never been a year where there wasn't more people going to California than leaving. And until a couple years ago, that was the first time ever that more people left California than went. And
Yeah, it's a beautiful state, but to live there,
it's all the other issues.
I don't know if I could.
Like California in of itself, you got great weather all the time. You got this beautiful sceneries. You can go from the mountains to the beach really quickly. There's so many positive things about California. The negative is the crime, the politics, the wildfire. Why are we having wildfires next to the ocean? Imagine in Wilmington, we start having wildfires.
They have earthquakes.
Earthquake, like, well,
Like,
earthquakes ain't even as bad. Is like it's like so many issues. The cost of living.
Mm-hmm. The
You
traffic,
can't afford to live there.
the prices,
Crazy, crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, and they defunded the fire department,
They defunded
and
everything out
not the LAPD though.
there. but they hamstrung them. They didn't defund them, but they hamstrung them and said, "All right, we gonna," which I think they just reversed this, but we gonna make all like if somebody steals under this amount, we gonna make that a misdemeanor that you can't go to jail.
Yeah,
For. Nigga, if somebody come in my store and steal $1,500 worth, listen here. If you don't get them, I am. We'll deal with the consequences later. But you know how about just come in here and steal the whole rack of stuff, and all you get is a slap on the wrist
Mm.
to do it again? Like, what we talking about, dude? California got issues, man. Would either one of y'all live in California?
live.
I have no interest.
Yeah, live.
And I don't know
Like,
if
I'm
for the
talking
audience
about
watching
a year or
outside
more.
Cold- What'd you say?
I'm saying like, yeah, live a year or more, like in California. Like,
No, for the audience watching this podcast right now, I don't know if you know, but all three of us live in North Carolina, but we're in different cities. So
yeah.
that's why we're asking these type of questions because we're not from the West Coast. Would I live there? No. I vacation there almost every. I vacation a while. My twin sister lives it there, so I go see her around our birthday in March. So I plan on going there to visit, but to live there, I don't think I could do it. It's because the speed of the environment is a lot quicker than in North Carolina. I'm more of a slow type of country girl, not the fast life. So no for me. What about y'all?
Nah, I couldn't.
No. I could go a long list of things. Where would y'all live? Like for me, there's honestly, if I was to live out in another state, like it's not that many options for me. If really any. Like I like a lot of the things that parts of Texas got, like just the ability to, because I feel like Texas has a very similar like policies and things as far as like just your living and things as here. So like Texas, I could definitely parts of Texas, like I probably wouldn't live in like Austin, Texas, or like one of the big metros, like maybe a Houston, which is huge, but like on the outskirts maybe, or that's like somewhere out in the middle of Texas. Like if I moved to Texas, it'd probably be somewhere in the middle of Texas, and I just commute to the city if I got to. But that other than that, like it ain't really. I used to say Florida, but I don't even want to live in Florida. Like I ain't trying to go down there. Yeah, like I like North Carolina. Like me personally, like I feel like the taxes is better than a lot of places. The cost of living isn't as high as a lot of other places. Now certain parts of North Carolina can get expensive, but you can get around that pretty easily. Like it's not like super crazy. The people I feel like is better than a lot of places that I've been. Not perfect, and it's a lot of people that's moving, but it also gives you like kind of a, not all the areas is necessarily a melting pot of like different races, but you get a melting pot of different places that people are from. Like there's a lot of people from up north, there's people that's from here, there's people that moved here from work, because a lot of people are moving here for work, with all the different companies that are coming here. Like I don't know. What about y'all? Like where else would y'all live? As far as the United States now, outside the country is a different conversation.
Houston. I went there last year. It was smooth. Um, as far as the environment goes, that's somewhere. That's somewhere I feel like I could be and be comfortable. Like as far as my quality of life goes. Um, I liked Houston. It was a lot. It was a melting pot of everything, but there was definitely a lot of black people there. and not just any black people, like black people with money.
Yeah.
So I like Houston, and Houston also got its own. It's got its own culture to it.
Hmm.
So like, I like that. Um, I've always had thoughts about New Orleans,
I
but
love New
there's
Orleans. I love
there's
New
certain
Orleans.
parts of
I
New
don't want to live
Orleans.
in New Orleans though. I love New Orleans though.
But yeah, um, that's always been one of my places. Um, shoot, outside of I used to like New York. Like I never been, but it used to be on my list growing up. But well, when I grew up and I see, because I know a lot of people from New York. I know a lot of people who like been to New York, go there, come back. It's not the 5-star experience that it's made out to be anymore. Because I'm pretty sure it used to be a 5-star experience. It used to be better.
I
It's
think
not.
it used to be New York.
Yeah.
Like I feel like before it was like just as far as the people, the culture, like it was New York, and like now it's an overpriced price city. Like
Hmm.
you can get a city life in many other places for a lot cheaper and a lot more of what it is. Like now, man, New York, I don't know. Like, just from outside looking in, because I don't live there and I don't go there. I've been there. I think no. Well, I was outside of New York. I was close by New York, but I've been up that way like one time. So like I don't know like everything about New York, but everything I've read and seen, like I don't know, like it's expensive. The people that work in New York don't even want to live there. They run in New Jersey. like like that should tell you enough. Like people that work in let's say Charlotte, the people that work in Charlotte, they don't run to Rock Hill, South Carolina. People that's in Rock Hill, South Carolina, come to Charlotte, but it ain't vice versa. It's not like, oh yeah, I work in Charlotte, I'm going to move to Rock Hill. Like, no, yeah, I'm staying in Charlotte or Concord or like surrounding areas. But I'm not about to run to South Carolina because I'm not jumping the whole state because of I don't want to live in the city that I go to, even though it has nice things. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I just seen something where it said North Carolina is the number one state in the country for businesses.
Yeah, like it's because like we have we have good taxes. That's no more. Like compared to a lot of other, we don't have the necessarily the best as far as taxes, but we have really good taxes. We are very friendly to people starting businesses um um and just the things that you would need to do like to get your business up and off the ground or build something. Like we're very friendly on those, and it's just like people want to live here too. Like you got the beaches, you feel me, the mountains on the other side, and you got in between, like, and it's a decent quality of life.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Think of all the different industries. Like, you can have the snow companies, the ski companies, have people, the boat companies and stuff. Then you still got the agriculture.
The agriculture,
Um,
the tech, in
yeah,
Raleigh, Durham, right now, like the tech booming, like
yeah,
absolutely booming
mm,
right now. You got the banks,
yeah,
huge bank industry. You got sports teams and more sports teams coming. Like we still don't have a major league baseball team, but we got both. We got the women and men pro soccer teams. We got the hockey. We got the football. We got the basketball. Like you get a lot of what you get in other places, and it's not everybody's not on top of each other. Like
hmm
New York has all those different teams, and everything is right there in the city.
yeah,
People don't even talk about the rest of New York. Like, there's a
hmm
whole other part of the state that people don't even mention, and Buffalo sitting up there, and they don't even get mentioned as far as New York. Buffalo. Like when people say Buffalo, it sounds like a whole different place. It don't even sound
yeah,
like it's in New York. You feel me? Uh, but like in in North Carolina, it's like everything isn't like on top of each other, but like it all feels like all right. it's part of the same culture. You feel me? Like it's part of the what makes North Carolina, and on top of all the friendly things that you get. Like, I didn't watch the video yet, but it was like a video on the states that are broke. Like, there's a lot of states that are broke, and we're not one of them. It's like, why is that? You feel me? Like, and you got to go and look at what some of these people is doing. You're just talking about California. California spent $22 billion. I don't think it was last year, or it was one of the years. But they spent $22 billion trying to fix the homeless population. $22 billion. And then after it, came out and publicly said, we don't know the exact effect that it had. Now imagine somebody spends, you got $22 billion to give somebody, and you give it to them, and they come back and tell you after they spend it, we don't know the exact effect of what we just spent your money on. And that's virtually what happened to the taxpayers of California. We just spent $22 billion of your money, and we don't know what happened. And then, because they spent all of this money, not just that, on a whole bunch of other things, they were in the negative. And guess who they had to go to get the money? The federal government. And guess what that means? We all pay for it.
Yep.
So it's like, what? But it's not just them. It's multiple states that are doing bull crap, and because everybody's trying to please everybody with everything, that's just not feasible. Like, it's not feasible for you to import millions of new people into California or New York or some of these places, Chicago, then use the government's money that they don't. The government isn't a business. They're not making money. They're taking money from you. They use the government money to then get those people on their feet while still operating the roadways, trying to fix some of the stuff so you don't have wildfires, like the different things that the power, they got power outages in a lot of these different places, like, to do all of these things, and then still talk about, we still need affordable housing. We're gonna give money to these companies to go build affordable housing, and then give money to there's only so much you can do. But because lawmakers, they say, we're gonna make ourselves a sanctuary city, or we're gonna give $22 billion to the homeless to try to fix the issue, instead of saying, what is the actual issues? Why? What is the issues right now in California where we got to spend $22 billion to fix the homeless population? Like, somebody needs to answer that. Like, why do we need to spend $22 billion to fix that? How did it get to this point? Like, what did we do? Where was the missteps? Are we even trying to really fix it? Which is usually no, but these are some of the questions that really need to be had, but because politicians play the politician game, they never get answered.
Well, I'm glad you stopped me I'm glad you said outside of the country is going to be a different conversation, because I was going to say I want to live, if I were to get the opportunity to live in a different place for a year to 2 years, it would be outside the country. But inside the country, I honestly will say I'm happy where I'm at right now in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I'm only saying that because I just moved up here last May. No, January, March, April, May. Yeah, last May. And I was doing all the research to move out of Wilmington, North Carolina. I was doing all the research. I was looking up at Texas, Florida, California, looking everywhere. Even though California, like I said, I would never live there. I was so desperate to leave from Wilmington. I was looking everywhere, comparing everything. And it just made more sense for me right now. My budget is to live in Greensboro, North Carolina. It just makes more sense for me right now. So I don't think I would look to live anywhere else as of right now, honestly.
Yeah, man.
You want to go to the beach? You got to drive a couple of hours. That's it. It's that simple. You want to go in some snow? There's Virginia. There's like a place that you could go to. There, I feel like
Shit,
in
you
North
can
Carolina,
go
it's
to
the same
Asheville.
everywhere else.
Go to
Huh?
Asheville. I said go to Asheville. Go
There
to
you
Black
go.
Mountain. go
There you
to
go.
go, to. You can stick. You feel me? You can stick in North Carolina. You ain't gotta.
There you go. That's a perfect example.
Yeah, man. Listen, I was born and raised in North Carolina. I believe I'm gonna be laid in North Carolina. I ain't gonna say ain't a possibility, but I believe North Carolina is gonna where I'm gonna lay rest. I like traveling to other places. Like I said, I love New Orleans. I've had fun down there in Florida. I like Texas. I would even go to California. I talk junk about California, but I will visit California. And I've been to Oregon, been a bunch of places. Like living somewhere, especially long term, like 5, 10, 15 years. Like, cause we're kind of at, I'm definitely at this point in my life. Like, if I was to move somewhere, like it's going to be for a long time. I ain't moving nowhere for no. I ain't on the 6-month college. What they be doing the semester trip? Like I ain't doing that. If I'm going to move somewhere, it's gonna be all right. I'm going to sit down for a minute. Like this is where I'm gonna be at for at least the next 5.
And you know what's so interesting about social media too? Like with people that do move like that, it's so interesting because if you're in your one city, I guarantee you can find a lot of new things to do and experience in that one city. You don't have to keep going everywhere else. Like I lived in Greensboro, North Carolina 5 years ago. For y'all watching this video who don't know that, I went to school here at A&T a couple years ago, and there's stuff I'm seeing now that I didn't even know existed 5 years ago. So
there's probably stuff that didn't exist 5 years ago that's there now too.
You said what?
I said there's probably stuff that didn't exist 5 years ago that's there now too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Man, it just depends on like what you want. Like for me, like things that are important to me is obviously my faith, but like family, like super important to me, and like being able to experience life with people that like I'm close to. So it makes more sense to be here in North Carolina. Now, obviously if something comes up to where, all right, it's going to be hard to not take that opportunity, then sure. Like, I could understand moving. Like, my homeboy, Trey, he lived in North Carolina most of his life outside of college for a little bit, but he just got a job down in Georgia. Like, he wanted to coach, and he got a coaching opportunity. It's hard to say, all right, I'm going to pass over the coaching opportunity because I don't want to leave. Like, if there's something that you want to do, like, and there's an opportunity for you to do it, that's understandable. But if it's just out of, I just want to move, like, I'm not moving. I ain't moving somewhere just to say I move. Like people be like, you ain't like, like especially after high school, like, or after college, you're like, you ain't never want to just like move somewhere. Not really. Like maybe there was thoughts of like, cool, I want to go visit that place, but like for me, like it's never like, dang, I want to go live there for like a long time. Like, no, I want to go visit there. Maybe I go stay in New Orleans if I had the money. Like, go put my feet up in New Orleans for about 3 months, kick it, eat some good food. You feel me? Go kick it, somewhere, couple months. But living in somewhere, especially long term, like, bro, a lot of these places ain't what they built up to be, and it ain't that much. Even if it might be slightly, it ain't green on the other side. Like,
exactly.
you're gonna have issues over there just like you got issues at home, and there's gonna be things that's very similar to what you got at home. So it's like, just pick somewhere where the people that you want to be around is there. Like that for me. Like, if I got my peoples around me, cool, I'm good. Like I don't need all that other stuff. I can go watch the sports games. Like, I like sporting events. I can go watch a hockey game. I can literally get in the car, drive to Raleigh, an hour and some change, and watch a sports game. Like, go watch the hockey game. I can go watch a football game. I can go watch a basketball game. Like, shoot, I can go cross and go to Virginia. I go to South Carolina, go to Georgia. Shoot, I can go to Georgia. It ain't nothing but a couple hours and go watch one of the games there. Like, it ain't that much to travel. Like,
And I think people get that confused too, like traveling and living somewhere.
Yeah,
like,
it's
even,
like-
I guarantee you've been to more places than.
I was
Then
actually
a
trying
lot
to
of
do
people
the
ask that.
thing because like I traveled a lot for like sports, and I was trying to
Yeah.
like. It's hard to do it in your head. You really got to look at a map and like, all right, I've been here, here, and here, but I've been to a lot of states. Like,
I know.
a
Yeah.
lot of states, and a lot of them is now obviously I haven't done a lot in all of those states, but like the ones I've been to and done stuff in, it's like okay, cool. This is similar to you know, it's similar to Charlotte. Oh, this is similar to Raleigh. Oh, this beach town is just like Wilmington. Shoot, Wilmington might be better than this beach town. You feel me? Like, oh, this is, you know, like, oh, this is a Myrtle Beach. I can just drive down. You feel me? You'll see another Myrtle. That's all that is. Like, this is, like, and it's very similar things. Just like I was saying about New York. There's other cities that you can get a lot of the same stuff from New York. Maybe it's not going to be the exact same, but it's just different cultures and different things that are in place. But you get a lot of the same things in other places. So, and then when you talk about living, like, you also got to think of how you're going to be living. Like, North Carolina money, you take that to New York, boy, you poor. Honestly, that's true.
Yeah, you
like
struggle.
they talk about like to live comfortably in New York. You talking about 200 something thousand to live comfortably, like especially and that's probably still with like a, you feel me? You might be splitting with a roommate or something to like live on your own in New York. You better be deep in them six figures, like, because you get a hole in the wall for $4,000 a month. Like, you getting a small studio for $3,000. Now, say you want 2 bedrooms. Yeah. They and then they ain't even talking about the people. There's people, I don't know if they still do it, but there's people that used to come down to different places, buy cigarettes to go back and sell. So think about like how much people went through just to sell cigarettes for cheaper.
Yeah.
So if your cigarettes is that much cheaper, your McDonald's is more expensive. The people in McDonald's make more. They're up there, so that means the cost it funnels down. It gotta go. The dollar menu is now $6 menu. You feel me? Like, so everything is more expensive. You can't drive places. The driving, like, if you want to drive and get around like you get around here, not gonna happen, because you gotta pay for parking everywhere. You gotta pay tolls everywhere. You gotta like, just the cost of the taxes on the cars and your property taxes and stuff is higher. Like everything, like that's tough.
Not ideal. Then you gotta also think about the weather in those places too, because you know
That's
we
another
get
reason I don't want to.
we get hurricane season, but hurricanes honestly is not that bad. Like, especially when you've been through them, like, you know the survival kit you need, and like, sure, we've been without power.
And even when it's bad, it ain't, you know.
Yeah, it's not like these wildfires. Like, it's not like that. Not like tornadoes or nothing like that. You know, earthquakes. Like, it's a natural disaster, but I feel like it's very manageable to deal with. You know, and it do get hot here, but it don't get too high. Like we talked about Houston. Houston hit 100 degrees. Like, when it's that summertime, that thing, 100 is a minimum. They really hitting them 105s, 106, 107. They really getting up there, and hey, that's a different type of heat.
And it's like, it's just like, you know how to manage things better. Like, when it's hot here in North Carolina, shit, you know how to, all right, I ain't gonna go out at this certain time and go to
Yeah.
this place. When you in somewhere different, shit, you might just be out at that time and can't get no AC.
Mm-hmm.
You might be short. You feel me? But you know, it's the type of living, that type of thing. But yeah, man, hurricanes ain't that bad. Like as long as it ain't like the whole your house washes away. Like as long as it ain't one of them type of hurricanes, like for the most part, as long as a tree don't fall in your damn house, like you can figure it out. Like you might not have power for a day, but you'll be alright. As long as you got your grill or you got you some way to cook some food, like cool. I've been, man, that hurricane hit some years ago. We didn't have power for we didn't have power for a few days, but there were some people without power for a long time. But
I was about to say we went 2 weeks. I think it was like
yeah,
2019. It might have been like Florence. Yeah.
yeah,
2 weeks, no power.
yeah, no power, and shoot, thugged it out. Like you figured it out. Like that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you know, it might have been a little bit warmer than you wanted at times, but you made it do.
Exactly.
It wasn't like it was like, oh, my house is washed away. Like that's what, like, I feel like a lot of people got an idea of like what all hurricanes is. All hurricanes ain't ain't that. Like you might have, like, depending on where you at, some flooding like in certain places, but and you might not be able to drive through certain places. But bro, just if a hurricane that hit that bad, one, most stores ain't open. So
Yeah.
you better have got your stuff before anyway. You go sit your butt down for a few days, and then two, it's like, what are you going out and doing? Like, you ain't going nowhere. Sit down. You know, like I said, you got a grill. You better throw something on the grill.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got a grill, crack your cans or whatever you doing. You feel me? And chill with the people you got around you. Read a book. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like,
That's it.
hey,
You gotta go in the car to charge your phone up. So
exactly. Go crank the car up, chill, get your little AC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pick up the pine cones out your yard.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time. Do something. Have y'all ever? So I watched a video on this. Have y'all ever thought about like Hawaii and the logistics of Hawaii?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I never really thought about it deeply, but like, so since Hawaii is an actual state, it's not like Puerto Rico or like some of these other. It's really. I'm laughing because. So, the international law is a country can't have colonies anymore. Like they can't own like or not necessarily territory. They can't have colonies and stuff. But we got like Puerto Rico and some of these other places. It's like that's all the hell they are. They're under U.S. They're under the U.S. They're just not technically a state. What the hell else is that? Like we're still living in that same time. It's just different words for it now or something. But yeah, since Hawaii is an actual state and it's so far from our border, they're still entrenched in like our logistical system. So, like, ships still send all like so. Anyways, in the video, it was just talking about like the grocery store. Like the grocery store has all the same things that we got over here, but it was but it just the fresh foods is like significantly more expensive. So the bananas on the shelf, the peaches, the oranges, like all the fresh stuff, the quicker it expires, the more expensive it is because they have to pay extra, and like they was going deep into it. But then the video went to like Hawaii before, because Hawaii used to be like a empire and stuff, but more importantly, Hawaii was self-sustainable. But because the U.S. came and and then they started doing like cash crops and stuff like that. They got rid of a lot of the other farming that was already done on Hawaii, but now they're trying to like bring it back. But what are y'all thoughts on like one, just like the U.S. just, or not even just the U.S. because we ain't the only ones. Like I know we get the bad rap of a lot of this stuff, but there's other countries that doing a lot of the same stuff that we doing. They just don't get talked about in the U.S. But what are y'all thoughts on like the U.S. having territory away from the mainland of the U.S. and just like the logistical and like the support that we give? What are y'all thoughts on that?
I mean, for Hawaii, and I'll contribute with Alaska's sake too,
Yeah.
because neither one of them are connected. But for Hawaii, I mean, I feel like from a strategic standpoint, like you gotta have some stuff away from the land. Like I know we have bases all over in all these other countries and stuff, but like actually our land and stuff, you gotta have, like, I feel like we need to have some land outside of just the homeland. Um, and it's like Alaska's pretty big.
Massive.
Like
It's
it's a
massive.
it's a good amount of space. So it's not like,
I want to say it might be. I don't know if Texas is bigger or Alaska. Like,
but they're close.
yeah, like Alaska is massive.
Yeah. So it just, I mean, from a strategic standpoint, I just feel like it does allow, like, it is a necessity. Um, like we need it. Uh, I do understand how it makes it more difficult. Uh, as far as like the cost of living and things of that nature for those native to that land.
They say
Um,
a lot of people from Hawaii, like the Hawaiians, have moved to the mainland because just the cost of living is crazy.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I understand that's a little too difficult. That's probably the biggest change of Hawaii. That I feel like it is like going to continue to trend that way until some type of modifications happen. Because Hawaii wasn't really built to sustain all that, like all the massive tourism that
Yes.
comes in and things like that. So
In the video, it was so it hit on that a little bit. It it talked about how Hawaii was like very self sustainable and like so they made all their own foods and did all those different type of industries, but
mhm,
then like I said, the cash crop, like Dole, the company Dole,
mhm,
and some of the other companies like went there. They started doing like the cash crop farming and stuff like that. But that was at least that was industries.
yeah,
But now it's just tourism. So only thing that comes with tourism is these service jobs. You
yep,
can't afford to live in one of the most expensive states off of service jobs. Like so that's why so many Hawaiians like you took away their farms, you took away a lot of the stuff, and now they had to leave. But now because they're trying to bring down, they said there's been a couple like farmer things, but they're trying to bring back some of those agricultural stuff to bring down the cost of some of the things because they're like people can't afford to live here. I mean,
yeah,
eventually it's just gonna be billionaire island because those are the only people that can afford to consistently live here. And so yeah, uh, they're talking about bringing back some of the old because like Dole has left the country, like and a bunch of or left the state, and a bunch of other companies have left the state from doing what they were doing before. So these are just farms that are just sitting there now. So it's like
mhm,
let's do something with it and start bringing back a lot of make Hawaii a lot more self-sustainable and bring jobs because one, it's so far away from everything, and two, like they said there's only one main port that can take in like the big ships cargoes.
mhm,
So they said like if a bad hurricane comes, think about like what is going to happen to the land if they can't get no food in, they can't get because at the ports, like I'm sure y'all seen like at the port in Wilmington, like they got the big shipping cranes that come and pick up those things. There's only one port in all of the islands of Hawaii that can pick up those massive ones. They have to then take them and put them on smaller ones, so then they can push it off to all the other islands with the smaller ports. But there's only one, and the only other one is they got one in on Pearl Harbor, on the military base, but that's only a temporary one, and it'd be like a fraction of what the main port could do. So just everything, like logistically, it just makes way more sense just to let's make this a little bit more self-sustainable. So if something does happen, especially now, like potential war, like we can have this in a good situation. So yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii one of them expensive ones. Alaska expensive too. They say Alaska is very expensive too, which I'm sure it's a very similar thing because they can't export shit. It's the frozen tundra, and they can't farm and a lot of the things. So it's like they gotta import everything. Yeah, but it's strategic, so you gotta have it. Like you said, gots to have it. Which there's a lot of stuff that I watched one video that was talking about, like, I guess countries and territories that U.S. has control over. It's a lot of countries that they don't even talk about. There's stuff. There was one thing that it doesn't even show on the map. That, like, it's not like it's an island, but it's not on the map. But the U.S. owns it. Like, what?
Yeah.
But you gotta think, like, the people that make and the whole map thing, you can get freaky because they just talked about the U.S. got bigger, but it's because the territory around it, we gained more ocean territory now because of how they drew the maps and stuff. Like it's crazy. Like some of the stuff that the different countries do, because we're not the only ones. Like China draws their map a certain way as well. Like to say, hey, we own this land right here, where if you look at older maps, they don't own that land, but now they drew a new map, and it's kind of like who's gonna stop who from saying we own this.
Right.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, like a lot of stuff goes behind the scene.
Yeah, it's literally all man-made, so we don't really know what's the truth behind it because it's literally man-made. It's so interesting to me.
The winner writes history.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
pretty
it.
much.
The winner writes history. So, but yeah, like if you really dig into a lot of this stuff, like these countries is playing chess, boy.
Yep.
And 3D chess at that. We be over here talking about some bullshit. They over here talking about, hey, China talking about Taiwan's right here. Hey, we own this land territory right next to Taiwan, and we gonna build man-made islands, put military bases on the man-made islands, and say we own those islands, and it's right next to Taiwan, and we want Taiwan. We trying to get into their government, and we're doing a little bit, but U.S. keeps money. Hey, in a few minutes, watch this.
Yeah.
And you wonder why the U.S. government just spent billions of dollars on Intel. Well, we got to be able to make chips just in case China over there messing around with Taiwan. You feel me? They over there messing with Taiwan fishing boats. Y'all can't fish over here no more.
Mm-hmm.
Where they gonna get their fish from? They gotta call China. You feel me? All right, boom, Taiwan. You feel me? Blase. They're trying to make Taiwan people call themselves Chinese people. It's real. Like that's real. Like
I believe it.
That's real. Like they're literally doing these different things and implementing themselves in like their government and stuff. Like that's real stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And people be over here arguing about Kendrick and Drake.
That's real.
Imagine if China tomorrow takes Taiwan. Taiwan builds majority of the world's chips.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chip in everything. Everything
Yep.
we using right here, right now, there's a chip in.
Yeah.
Your vehicle, it ain't gonna crank up without a chip. Your
Mm-hmm.
phone ain't gonna work without a chip. Your camera ain't gonna work without a chip. So if the place that builds majority of the world's chips and China takes it and says F you the United States, or if let's say they don't even say F you the United States, they just say, hey, we gonna tax y'all. We gonna double the price of these chips. Now, guess what? That just happened. Double the price of the cost of or at least increase the cost of the price of the goods that we bought with chips, which is virtually everything. Until we can build the infrastructure here to, do more stuff here. And what's your thoughts on that? And then we'll close it out. But just like industries here versus overseas, because obviously it's the, you can get cheaper labor overseas versus here, so automatically the cost of the good is a lot cheaper. But when you rely solely too much on getting goods from other places, that brings its own issues. You feel me? So what are y'all thoughts on that? Like making stuff in America versus making stuff abroad?
I think it kind of goes back to, here in America, I feel like we've gotten away from the textile and manufacturing industries, like a lot of the plants and stuff. Like there's not as many. I say that there used to be a big push, especially when you think about the 40s, 50s, 60s, after the Great Depression, like that time period, like the focus was putting all our people back to work, and like everything was really American made. You couldn't go anywhere without a bunch of factories and all these different textile industries and things like that. So I think it would help the economy personally. I do think that's something as a country we gotten away from. Um, and then being too reliant on those outside countries and stuff, bringing in those imports. I think that kind of cripples us and puts us in a situation where now we have to sit and analyze. Whereas if it was always here, and we was doing it ourselves, we don't really have those issues. So I think it'd be good. It'd be good, especially just from economy standpoint, as far as like money circulation, jobs. Like talk about wanting to save the homeless problem, like issue. Like we get some people back working, get some more jobs for them, and these factory jobs aren't like you don't need to go to school for. Like you don't have to be the most studious. Like anybody can go and work in there. Anybody, and they'll find something for you to do.
Yeah, and I think, like, I agree with a lot of what you said. I think the problem is there's multiple issues. It's one, the government's involvement in a lot of the industries. It makes it too hard for people to start companies. Like there's a lot of regulation, especially when you start talking about big industries, of people getting into those industries, and that is where a lot of issues come, because then it's 3 or 4 companies, or maybe 5 companies that own the entire industry virtually. And then what happens is all they do is say, hey, we gonna charge all of these people this amount of money. We gonna charge the government this amount of money. There's only a few government contractors as far as where they get all their weapons and ships and boats and all of that stuff from. And they overprice for the same exact thing that if you get it in the free market, it would be a lot cheaper. But we overpay for it because there's only a few companies that can get it, because those few companies pay the politicians to write the bills that makes it where it's only a few companies that can. So there's a lot of issues that, and it's also the issue of there's the Americans' perceived quality of life, which we have a nice quality of life, but the problem is it's really a placebo effect right now, because we're printing a lot of money and we're in a lot of debt, and eventually you're going to have to continue to print that money, which continues to devalue the US dollar, or the bottom is just going to fall out, and it's going to get very, very, very scary for a lot of people. And the big companies is not like, we talked about AI on one of these episodes, but they're not spending these billions and trillions of dollars to make more jobs. I keep seeing all these stats about how many jobs AI is going to make. These big companies is not spending all this daggone money to make more jobs. Yes, there's going to be jobs made, but there's going to be a lot of jobs taken, more than was made. And the companies are going to use it. So when those jobs continue being taken, what are people going to do? What is the average person going to do? And when you go to California and the minimum wage is whatever the minimum wage, I don't know, like $20, or some of these places where they're talking about, oh, we should make the minimum wage $25. Well, that takes out Johnny's restaurant down the street, that the corner store over there, the cleaners over there. They can't afford to pay nobody, because you just told me, oh, I gotta take my $10 hour employees, maybe it was some high school students, I gotta take them and pay them $25 an hour. I ain't gonna be able to afford nothing but one of them in there, and we can't run all week. So what am I supposed to do now? You want me to work 120 hours in this place that only gonna make $20,000 at the end of the year? Like, and so it puts everybody in a tough situation. Me personally, like, people don't want to hear it. Like, I think, like, for instance, North Carolina, our minimum wage is like $7. I think it's like $7 and some change.
$7.25.
$7.25. I don't think we should go and raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, because I believe a lot of companies are gonna go out of business because of that. I think a lot of these other places shouldn't have raised their thing either, because when it's a lower minimum wage, I can give jobs to people that might not have a job right now. Somebody sitting on the side of the street with no income, or with no income, they're living off the government. The government's literally paying everything for them. They got no education, no nothing, no prior work experience. What are they supposed to do? Well, they can come over here, because I can pay them $7 to work in this factory. Like Josh was just saying, work in this factory. You don't need no education. I'm going to teach you what you need to know right here. Come in here, work you 10 hours a day, make you a couple dollars, and then as you stay in here, maybe you can grow and get a $25 an hour job to be the whatever in this industry. I think that's more reasonable than saying we're going to pay everybody $25 an hour. Not possible. Economically, just not possible. Everybody ain't going to make it. So now you got more people homeless, more people broke, more people can't get a job. Now what's going to happen? Everybody's on government assistance? Like, for real, we got to walk through these things, because when people say these things, like, what is the effect of it? What's the effect of going to $25 an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Less jobs. That's the effect. Instant effect.
And
That's
not.
happen quick.
I feel like the quality of people also, because like for me, starting out at my very first job was at McDonald's. I was getting paid $7.25. That built character in me working at a fast food restaurant. So I just feel like it depends. It will help with character also. Someone's not you're not just hiring someone for a paycheck. That like you said, the homeless person. That makes more sense to keep it $7.25.
Yeah.
Like where's their education at level at for the point that to the point where they are homeless. So it's like that makes more sense to me logically just to do $7.25.
And we all black here. You can go look this up. It's a stat. When the time when it was the least amount of black people without jobs, like so there was the most amount of black people had jobs was when there was no minimum wage.
Wow.
Why? Because the barbershop could pay little Johnny to come in here and work for a couple dollars, a couple hours a week, and he could come make a couple dollars. He ain't making a lot. He just graduated high school. He's still trying to figure it out. He can come in here, brush up the sit around, maybe even learn how to cut hair. He could come and work in the kitchen and wash dishes for $5. Ain't nobody trying to pay no $20 for no dishwasher. I'm sorry. We not trying to do that. It doesn't make sense. We gon' eventually just go put the hey, somebody come install a dishwasher in here. We gonna wipe that out. We ain't hiring no dishwasher in here. Y'all gonna have to wait till the dishwasher finish running. That's the reality.
Yeah.
We ain't paying that. That's what's going on, and yes, it sucks that somebody will have to make $7, but that's better than zero. That's better than them having to rely solely on the government, because when you rely solely on the government, guess what you got to do? Whatever the hell the government say.
Yeah.
Whenever the government say do it. So if they say, hey, let's say we have another pandemic. You can't buy groceries, so your EBT card cut off until we say it's okay for you to go buy groceries, or you can't buy this type of grocery. You're not allowed to buy this type of grocery. EBT's only you can only use EBT for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to live in that type of life, or do you want to be? I have to work 2 jobs, but shoot, we'll figure it out. You feel me? At least I can get a job to supplement some of this. Maybe I'm not on food stamps, but you feel me? Maybe I'm on some type of housing thing from the government, but I can pay for my own food. Maybe I gotta bunk up with some roommates, but I can pay for such and such. But if everybody ain't got no job, AI done took out X amount of jobs. Then what? And then we got AI coming, or AI's here, and then on top of it, you talking about raising the minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm a local business. I can't afford to pay. I don't have the corporate backing to pay you this amount of money. And there's an AI that could do your job. What you think I'm gonna do? I want to keep Susie because I know Susie's mom and dad. I went to school with them, and they said, "Hey, look out for Susie." But Susie, I'm sorry, I don't need a front desk person. I'm gonna put this tablet here and tell them to sign in.
Yeah.
My gym can operate without you here. I'm gonna just give them this key fob and they can go tap it in. I don't need you here, Susie. I'm sorry, we can't afford it. And that's the uncomfortable conversation you gotta have. Like, and the thing Susie could do, she working that job, making $9 an hour or whatever she's making, $6 or $7.25. She's making $7.25, working at the front desk of a gym. Guess what she can do when it's late at night? It ain't a lot of people in here right now. I could be studying, so I can get whatever this is, or I could be learning how to do this on the side, and but while I'm working this job now, but then in a year I've used that time that I've had from working that job to now elevate, and now I done got a $15 job per hour next year, and then the year after that I got you feel me, and it just stack. But if I ain't got nothing, Susie, like, we hear suicide rates is rising. Susie might not even be here you feel me? I don't want to be groomed like that, but like, think about somebody that they ain't got nothing going on in their life, and then you tell them I can't even get a job. I can't even get a job. Nowhere? Like, ain't nowhere to hire. Everybody say, oh yeah, put your application in. Ain't nobody call me back. My parents on my head, hey, you need to go get a job, man. I had a job when I was this age and blah, blah, blah. You ain't doing nothing in here. They on my head. I'm sitting around not doing nothing. And then everything's more expensive. What am I supposed to do? That's not the answer, Sway. You ain't got the answers.
Nope.
But yeah, man. That's all I got. Well, I had some more, but that's a good little. Cause I'm in here getting groomed, man. Cause people just out here doing crazy stuff, saying anything. Y'all got any final thoughts, man, before we get up out of here?
Yes, I do. So for y'all watching this video, I'm sorry if y'all saw me getting up a couple times and Keevin hasn't clipped that out, but I apologize. My allergies have been on 10, and so that's why I've been getting up, grabbing tissues. So and I didn't want to blow my nose on the camera, so I apologize if y'all see me getting up a couple times in the video. And if y'all don't see me, if it's clipped out, then I would like to say my final thoughts is please make sure you like and share this video. Please like, share, and subscribe outside the pulse. It's very helpful. Really appreciate you. Thank you for watching this video. And that's all that I have to say for my final remark. Thanks for watching this.
What you got for the people, Scott? What you got for the people, man?
Hey man, make sure y'all out there communicating, man. Make sure y'all communicating to y'all loved ones, the ones near and dear to you. You know, it's truly a blessing to be able to wake up another day, you know, and be able to live this life that we live. So just make sure you communicating. I ain't saying you gotta stay on the phone all day, but you know,
we got devices now, man. We got devices that make it really easy.
Real easy. You just gotta tap in, you know. And it's as simple as sending a text message, maybe just leaving a comment on a post, you know. I mean, there's a bunch of different options, but just make sure you stay tapped in with your folks, man. Make sure we stay connected.
Yeah, man. I agree with that, man. Communication is very, very key, man. Communication is very, very key. Man, I appreciate all y'all listeners out there, man. I really do. I really do. I appreciate all y'all listeners. It means a lot, man. It means a lot, man. I appreciate the two people up here with me right now, man. Britney and John, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all got patience with me. That's what we need sometimes. Sometimes we need patience from, you feel me? From one person to another, man. You know? And they have patience with me, man, because I'm not always on my stuff, man. Let me. I'm talking to the people now. I ain't always on my stuff, man. Just like y'all probably ain't always on your stuff, man. It happens, but we gotta, like we said last time, man. Discipline. You know, stay consistent, like, you know, and control the controllables. Control what you can control. Control what you can control, and you can't control everything, but the things that's in your power, you know, control that, and 9 times out of 10, if you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing on a consistent basis, you're going to get results. You might not get the results you think you should get, even like this podcast. If we do what we're supposed to do, we might not. Maybe we think we're supposed to have 100 million subscribers. We might not hit 100 million.
Right.
But because y'all just hit that subscribe button, y'all just did it.
Well,
I just seen it. I seen it. Y'all just hit the subscribe button. We got one more. We got a couple more. 10 more. Boom. We just had a month. 100. You feel me? Next month. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And that's all I'm saying, man. But it takes a little communication, a lot of discipline. A lot of discipline.
Yeah.
And control the controllables, man. That's all I got for y'all today, man. I appreciate all y'all, man. I love all y'all, man. And y'all stay blessed and stay prayed up. Do what you're supposed to be doing this week. Do what you're supposed to be doing, man. We all know what it is. You ain't gotta tell me, but do what you're supposed to be doing. And yeah, that's it, man. We gonna get up out of here. This is Outside the Post. Peace.